The Clashing Conferences Podcast. Let's go.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The Clashing Conferences podcast. We're here with the OGs, the original NFC East crew. We had a big week last week with two NFC division or NFC East teams moving on to the divisional round. We had the Eagles beating Green Bay 22-10, and we had the Commanders in an upset beating Tampa Bay 23-20. Other big news in the division this week: Randy's getting a new coach. McCarthy got fired, so that's some news to talk about this week. In our internal competition, we got a little confidence pool going, and Paul is winning that thing with 36 points. Randy and Greg both just behind at 35 points apiece, 1 point back. And Chris at 27, but picked four of the teams as winners this week, which is more than Greg and Paul had, even though they have higher numbers than him. So Chris has got a lot of big numbers left to use, and even though he's in last, has just as good a chance at winning this thing as anybody else based on what he's got left on the board to pick with.
Don't feed us.
Unfortunately, like the Giants like to draft, it'll fall in suit with them, and he will stay in last.
It'll depend on my picks, obviously, right? I hear you.
That's fair, Paul. I liked your argument in the text thread that, Chris is going to have a harder time going forward to use those high numbers because you get games like Buffalo and Baltimore where it's you don't know who's going to win.
It's probably happen this week. I ain't going to have no problem using my next two high numbers.
I think we all know where he's going with the Buffalo game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. The confidence is high.
Did Daniel Jones get picked up by somebody again?
Yep. Just got traded to the Bills.
Okay, all right.
Really?
No.
I was going to say.
Why would I jump off my Super Bowl pick? I had to ride them all the way out, right?
Well, okay.
That's a quick week in review. I think, Paul, big upset. Commander's still alive in the playoffs. You deserve a chance to lead off this week.
Well, big win. Obviously, a little unexpected. That's why I put that was a point I wanted to lose. That's why I did the one there with it. I was planning to lose that.
That's horse crap.
Yeah, it is.
I said it.
That's a little
before. I said that
waffling
was
if
the
you
game.
ask me.
Nope. I said I
can't believe I didn't pick up on that to give you more crap last week because
I put 1 point on the Bucks, hoping I would lose.
Confidence pool. Come on.
Hey, Mike, who was most confident in Washington last week?
That would be you, Randy.
That's me. That's right.
Definitely. But listen,
I am the best.
Okay, well, you both shut up because I'm talking. This is our first win in 6,945 days. The last time we won a playoff game in 2000, like 6
How
or
many
9
days?
or 6.
It was six.
Almost 7,000 days.
Oh my God!
Welcome to being relevant.
Was that RG3 back then?
That had to be way before that.
No, it was before that.
So RG3 didn't win a playoff game.
That's like 20 years.
We went to the we went to the playoffs, but didn't win in the first round.
That definitely says a lot about Jaden Daniels.
Oh, who beat the last time you went to the playoffs?
I got no idea. I had no idea.
Tampa Bay, 17-0.
Who was your quarterback?
I don't know who the quarterback was.
Paul, do you know?
No, I have no clue.
I mean, it wasn't Donovan.
No.
Well, think about that. They had Donovan, who was their quarterback.
That would have it wouldn't have been McNabb.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Mark Rippon.
What?
Who wasn't?
No.
That was 15 years before that. But it was a great win. Obviously, a little dramatic with our OCD kicker there doinking it off in the at the very end. Obviously, that's how you're really supposed to do the doink. It's supposed to go on the inside, not the outside, Mike, just in case you guys didn't know.
That's the double doink.
Yeah. I thought it was a great game. Jaden Daniels looked really good. He, the only thing I'm worried about, especially going against the Lions, is he's rushing a lot. I think he had 13 rushes or something like that, and
that's a leading rusher.
And there was one time that he got hit. It was it looked like a late hit out of bounds, and I mean he got absolutely rocked. So every time that happens, and he also got busted in the face early at the first. I mean, obviously that was nothing. It's like somehow helmet got turned around and got scratched under his orbital, but. confidence looked good. I mean, he stands in there in the pocket, and I do not mean like Sam Darnold did last night, where he literally stood there like Drew Bledsoe, just waiting to get rocked. He was in there and could feel the pressure and released when he needed to. He and Terry are clearly, Terry's clearly the leader on the team, and Jaden Daniels is, has so much respect, getting so much respect from everybody out there. So, screw it. I'm looking to win the whole damn thing. There's no need to wait for
Ooh.
this year,
Mike?
for next year, or next couple of years. I want to win the whole damn thing. It's probably going to hurt after next week, and I don't mean because we might lose. It might physically hurt. I really just don't want anybody. I don't want any injuries to affect next year. There were a couple of players I think there was one of the best Packers linemen went out on a cart right at the end of the game. Those kind of injuries are going to suck. That's the only thing about the postseason that sucks. Is any kind of significant injury that puts you, depending on what it is, your next year in jeopardy.
Plus, you got that thing. You play the Lions and win or whatever the next week. What's Craig always say? You just got done playing the Lions. You're always going to the next game.
Beat up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully next, not this week, but hopefully next week we'll be playing the Rams anyway. So
No.
I'm looking forward to that. But if you look at the stats and everything, I mean, for a while, the stats for Baker and Jaden were perfect and really were identical. And really the big turning point was Baker Mayfield's fumble. I mean, we didn't have any turnovers and we didn't punt in the game whatsoever. So what's going to be crazy is this game next week. So if we're doing that, because we went forward on fourth down quite a bit, we're playing Dan Campbell. So as long as it's not 4th and 12, he's freaking going for it. So, I mean, the punter you might just bring somebody else off the practice squad that you want to get as an emergency quarterback or a fullback or something else. Maybe an extra kicker in case
You
they get
guys
hurt.
had a 17-minute drive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
keep the
unbelievable.
ball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You keep the ball on the ground and the short passes like that, and everybody stays in bounds, and no incomplete passes.
Hold
and,
on.
I mean, that's
17 minutes, more than one quarter. They wrapped up more than one whole quarter with one drive. I thought it was impossible.
I didn't think so.
You would think.
I didn't look that up. I'm just basing off what Randy said. I mean, I know that a lot of our drives like that, because we also started a lot of our drives deep in our red zone. So, but Mike, you're right. I mean, a full quarter on the same drive is pretty ridiculous. It's got to be like the first or the third quarter, because there'd be too many timeouts at the end of a half or the end of a game.
That's pretty sweet how that works. When you're talking, Chris doesn't have a mic. He talks, but it doesn't come out.
I like this version.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. It's weird. It's almost like I could get my points out and all that.
Yeah, it's like you weren't interrupted at all.
No, Chris, you were saying something and it cut out because Paul was talking and it just cut you out.
It'd be awesome if it just auto mutes him when I start talking.
Got it.
Yes.
Did it again.
What's the total time of possession in the game? Do you have it in front of you?
No, I don't.
I gotta look it up.
If they had a 17-minute drive, what was their?
You know what?
Randy's lying.
It's a 17-play drive, not a 17-minute drive. Sorry.
Total time of possession
way
was
more
30,
sense.
Yeah, yes.
35 minutes to 24 minutes.
Yeah.
All right,
So still,
I mean, discrepancy, but not,
Like,
it's not 45-15.
Yeah. No,
So-
it was impressive. I get it. It's crazy how really one major change in your team, which is Lattimore, but
Well,
really
here's the thing.
Jaden Daniels.
Lattimore was having issues. You could see him on the sideline. I swear he was crying on the sideline because he could not figure out Mike Evans whatsoever.
Never
They
could.
have history upon history upon history. I mean, we're talking, what is it? Brian Finnegan against Andre Johnson kind of history. They've thrown down before.
They've
And
both been ejected before.
yeah, against each other. So yeah, I mean, Marshawn Lattimore did not do all that well. He caught some penalties. Mike Evans obviously didn't blow up during the game, but I mean, he caught some big balls, but there were some penalties, like, a penalty in the end zone that set him up for one of their touchdowns because of Marshawn Lattimore. But
I mean, if that all doesn't give all you and me hope, Chris, I don't know what will.
Well, they also fill a lot of holes too. It's not like they did nothing. I mean, they got a new inside linebacker. They got
a new coach,
young D-line. Atufa, is that how you say the guy's name? He's a beast, man. That playing D-line and outside linebacker. The kid's nasty. OC, new head coach. So they filled the gaps. Like Dallas just felt like they didn't need to get anything last year.
Including, and this year they feel like they don't have to get a head coach. You don't need one.
You got to remember too, one of the reasons we didn't do anything is because we had to pay Dak Prescott $60 million a year. I mean, you have issues.
You were chrising the whole thing up saying that it's fine. We don't need to. We got all the best players, all the best players we need. And obviously that was wrong. And you needed to do something.
Looking back, yes, you're right.
I mean, the funny trade scenarios I see for the Cowboys in the offseason is ridiculous. Like getting rid of Dak for like a first-round pick, or Micah for Mike Tomlin, and like all these like crazy things.
I don't want Mike Tomlin.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. But dude, how pissed are you if you were a Steelers fan right now? You guys just had another season where you lost the first round to your biggest rival, and it wasn't even close.
No, I agree. They got to be fuming right now. What's that? 6 consecutive years of one and done.
Yep, and every year it's like Baltimore is there every year.
So since we're talking about Mike Tomlin, here's a timeline of things that's happened since Mike Tomlin last won a playoff game. So Dan Quinn took the Falcons to the Super Bowl. He was then fired by the Falcons. He spent 3 years with the Cowboys, got hired from the Commanders, and took us to the playoffs and won a playoff game all since his last one. So, I mean, it's been quite a ways.
Well, that's because they're in that QB situation where they're good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to beat the.
It's like having Kirk Cousins every year except for this year.
And unfortunately, you're not good enough to get a decent draft pick either.
Right, because they're making the playoffs, right?
You're making the playoffs every
their
year.
Draft picks have been pretty
poor. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they missed big time on Kenny Pickett. You know, that could have been a turning point if you had picked the right quarterback at that time. But I mean, they're getting crushed on some of their draft picks, like Chase Claypool and some other idiots out there.
What pick did they take?
Pickens has turned into a joke too.
Deontay Johnson. I mean, that was another big pick they had. Yep. They used to be like a wide receiver making machine team. Every other year they were trading away another top wide receiver. Now they can't get one to save their lives. I can't even
remember the guy Wallace they had. Wallace.
Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders.
He was good. Where did they take Pickett at? Where did he get drafted at? What pick was that?
I mean, I think it was Pickett. I was really high.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Pretty significant pick on that.
Yeah, but they were in the playoffs, right? Or did they miss the playoffs that year?
No, Pickett's he's not more than 6 years. You know, they were in the playoffs that year. They probably drafted him.
Why don't we slide back into the NFC East for a little while? We had another big game, another big win by the Eagles this weekend. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, there was rust, obviously, offensively. You know, we came out and we were physical. And, you know, first play of the game, we got a turnover, just being physical and trying to beat them up, and that's what we did.
You definitely beat them up.
We ran the ball.
You said last week that the Eagles were going to win by 10. You didn't care who the quarterback was. The O-line was going to run all over them.
Yeah, and that's what they did. And you can him and haul and shake whatever way you want to shake, Chris. You know, facts are facts. We didn't play great, and we still won by 10.
And the score could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Saquon didn't take the knee right there.
I mean,
and I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to go too far into this before I can get this out. I refuse to believe that A.J. Brown can read. I think that book was upside down. I don't want to hear it. I don't think he can
Sirianni said he's been reading it all year.
That was the dumbest looking.
All year.
Yeah, well, they're picture books and they pop up as things. No, he is dumber than a bag of hammers. I don't want to.
This is why I love about everybody, and you guys just hate on Philadelphia so much, and it's beautiful, and I love it. I love the anger.
We love it when you lose.
I mean, it's a city of brotherly love. Of course, you guys are so loving and accepting of other humans.
Your boy in Detroit is an awesome coach because he goes for it on fourth down. Sirianni does it, and he's like, "Oh, he's an idiot." Well, he can't coach. He's not a good coach. Newsflash: he's like the winning coach.
He is.
Right.
So it's like,
but
you're getting all upset. And you're turning into Randy. You can't even get the words out. It's awesome.
Greg, you were complaining as much about Sirianni going for a fourth down as we were earlier on this year.
Well, when
you were,
yes,
he was.
I was. I want them to run the ball. Our strengths are our offense and our defensive line.
Sure.
And I want to
I thought
be
you were
in the
about
trenches.
to say offense and defense, and I was like, good job.
No. I think we've grown tremendously in our back half of our defense. Our linebackers are absolutely amazing this year. And as long as Jalen doesn't make mistakes, which he really hasn't since the bye week, we're going to beat those teams. We're going to beat teams. We beat Baltimore. We're going to get those wins because if we don't turn the ball over, we are just bigger and stronger than you. Hence, the last time we played the Rams. Now, I'm going to tell you this. The Rams have gotten better since the last time we've played them.
Healthier.
And we've gotten better as well. So I'll talk about it the second half. I'm really excited about this game. But going back to our game Sunday, I think, injuries did play a part in it.
Who did you lose?
Sit here.
Who did you lose?
Kobe Dean.
Lost Dean. I'm saying more on the Packers side.
They lost all three of their receivers.
It did, and it played a part.
They started the game without their leading receiver.
So I'm not going to sit here and say
the guy
that
with the Guardian cap on.
They turned the ball over they turned the ball over 4 times. It was a fumble, 3 interceptions.
This is unreal.
Should have scored 40 or 50 on them.
It's unreal.
Yeah, Greg, you guys suck.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about.
I feel like if they would have played anybody else, they would have lost.
No, but my point is,
you would have played Watson, you would have lost.
You guys say all this stuff, but but you don't give credit to the defense who made those turnovers, or you don't say Jordan Love had a bad game.
I will say
always the Eagles suck because they didn't win by more.
I mean, Greg,
I don't like to get into him, but I did say it at work today. I said,
we could have won by 20, but
both games you played. Like he played like crap.
Don't start
week 1
talking
as well.
about your work,
Greg. You yes, you won a lot again. You guys have 3 Green Bay receivers out. Saquon Barkley runs for 119 yards. You guys stars all over your team. 4 turnovers. Green Bay missed a field goal.
I think you're making his point, Randy.
Right. But listen, in the fourth quarter, you're up 16-10. I mean, that game very easily, one of those turnovers not happening would have very easily been lopsided. Like, again, I feel like you're in a spot where you weren't you put them away right at the end when they basically threw a throw-up pick to no receiver because they don't have any. But you very easily could have lost that game. Should have almost lost that game.
I feel like that should have been Packers ball.
2 for 13 on third down. I mean, it was an awful play.
I feel like the first play of the game, that should have been Packers ball. And even at the end of the game when they were dropped, because the dude fell on the ball and they fell on top of him. They could have caught him down by contact right there. How about the end of the game? How about the pass interference on the last
And I'll give you your defense played incredible. I agree with that. But your offense played horrendous.
I know.
Did you have this on your bingo card when you woke up this morning, Greg?
No.
Jalen had what, like 131 yards? Yeah, like
having a rating of 111 with 2 touchdowns isn't a good game.
I don't think anyone would say 131 yards is a good game for a quarterback.
I'm not saying it's a great game. I'm saying
if that's all your team needs you to do to win, that's all that matters.
And that's why we're saying if you would have played somebody better and a little healthier, I think you would have lost.
Last week, you guys all said that we were going to get beat by the
Green
Packers.
Bay had 86
I didn't have a lot of confidence
yards.
in you. I had you at like 3 or 2.
I hope you have no confidence in us next week. That's what we love. We thrive on this. This is why I love being an Eagles fan.
We love it. And then
because
we love it too.
All
when you finally lose, we laugh at you.
By the way, I picked you as an 11. I put 11 on you, just letting you know.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate
this
that.
week?
Yep, below me.
Last week.
LA needs a win, man. They're going through some tough times right now. All the fires. LA
Next half. Next half. We're talking about this week.
They're going to be on fire because if they play the way they played this week and you play the way you played last week, they're going to lose.
This is where my confidence boost comes into you. Listen, you pick what you want to pick. I'm just telling you facts are facts. Now that we've played a game together, we haven't practiced in 4 weeks together.
We're talking about practice.
AJ hasn't practiced. Devontae hasn't practiced.
That's because AJ's stuck in his books. He's on book 1 already.
Listen,
he's on 2025.
Do you guys like assault other receivers for praying, for meditating?
No, but you guys assaulted him for catching a ball. I've never seen. It was a bloodshed.
Tell me you guys saw that this book is #1 on Amazon's book.
I've seen it.
some
All
how
Eagle
many
fans
Philly
were here.
fans went out and were like, "I'm gonna get
All
this
of them.
self-help
All
book
of
because AJ Brown's reading it." Like, who the
They can't
hell
even-
went
and they
out
can't
and was
even
like, "I
read.
gotta read this book"?
And
The
they can't
funny
even
thing
read.
was, the guy was like, "Oh, I think I was on the list at like 8 or 9,000 or whatever. Mine wasn't on the list." No, it was like 500 and some thousandth on the list, and it went right to number one in
That
2
that
days.
too.
that
That's
author
crazy.
is like making so much
Thank
more
you,
money
AJ.
right now. He's excited as hell that AJ Brown blew him
There's a
up.
new Eagles fan out there somewhere.
He better be wearing a jersey this week.
You better be. Yo, and that's the thing. It's the whole national pundit, the whole national media, like, and they attack obviously AJ
I don't think
for
the
reading the
national
book.
media called that lady, that nice, sweet lady,
Oh,
those
here we go.
mean
Here we,
names.
listen,
Yeah, that was crazy.
and what did I say? We
Low
need to
blow.
ban that guy forever. And he's
You're like
banned
the
now.
only Eagles fan that would probably say that, though. Most of the rest of them
No,
are out
that
there
is
like,
not
"Yeah, he's
true.
right, he's right, he's
Dude,
right."
we were passing around the picture because he actually was a couple sections over from us. We're like, does anybody know this? We're all sending it out. We're trying to figure it out. What he said was a scumbag move. I would not have said that. And I would say 90% of fans wouldn't have said that.
Oh, Steven,
Well,
put some
because
of the
they'd be
throw
too
threads
busy hitting.
on
Maybe
Instagram.
somebody would have hit her in
Get
the eye
that
with a
guy.
battery.
Yeah, it's
Or a
true.
sack of quarters.
It's
They would have taken their
Oh,
sock
is it
off
true,
and put
Randy?
Yes,
quarters
we'll
in.
throw a
Beat her over the
snowball
head
out
with
or
it.
two. And you bring up something from 1958.
68.
Oh, you go through snowballs at Santa? Like,
Well,
and I've
I'm
told
just
you
saying,
real
it's a
story.
history. It's a history
Why
of
you
bad
hate bringing up
behavior.
the past, Greg? Is it because we have more Super Bowls than you? Is that
And
why
what
you hate
happened to
bringing the
dollar hot
past up?
dogs at the Phillies game? I thought you guys had dollar hot dogs. What happened?
No,
They
believe me,
throw
they do
those
not
around
have
like
dollar.
the paper airplanes.
Yeah, that's what happened. So, yeah, Mike, thank you. I'm very excited about the Eagles. And I'll tell you what, there were some good games this weekend. I'm going to give Daniels his credit. Daniels looked amazing. Jaden looked great, and he is a really good young quarterback.
Absolutely.
Looking at the company that he was in for that only rookie quarterbacks to win a playoff game, though.
Last 3 years,
Yeah.
right? It's like Shroud, him, Purdy, right?
Yeah, somebody else too. I forget who it was.
And he's the
Definitely
only.
Brock Purdy.
And there's only 3 times that there's ever been a rookie quarterback win when there were no turnovers and 0 punts. 3
That's how you got
times.
That's how you got started the season.
Well,
You're
he had-
finally getting back into that.
He had all 3 this year. One was this
he
Sunday,
did.
but he had all 3.
And the other games were good too. I mean, I did not see the Texans coming on like that, and I think none of us did, and I think Rex Ryan screwed us on that one, talking about it's going to be a bye week for the Chargers, and I'm like, man, you can't make statements like that.
Rex Ryan's such an idiot. I cannot stand him.
And trying to get a job on top of that, like, I don't know, drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would say that Sam Darnold cost himself about $100 million yesterday.
yeah.
I think you could have gotten away against with playing bad against the Lions.
Yeah, they don't need to
Last
pay him.
night-
They got DJ sitting
No, they're
there.
not. They're
Come
not
on,
going.
man.
Stop. You're an idiot. Just go take another.
Why?
Yeah.
JJ might be coming to us. I don't know. I've been
No.
seeing that rumor flying around left and right.
The best
I
was
don't
when
want
they were
that.
showing him warm up last night. DJ, and I almost texted you guys, but I didn't. And he
Thank you.
he says, "Looks like you're still underthrowing people." The receiver had to like stop, reach back to catch the ball.
Oh
It's
my
like,
god!
dude, like you're warming up. Come on, throw
You
good
guys
passes.
are ridiculous.
Just he's horrible.
Talk about hating, man.
No, I spit truth.
Jeez.
Facts
But I
are
think
facts,
Sam
buddy.
Darnold, if he played good
guys
last
just
night, he
can't
was
help but
possibly
bring
looking
him
at
up.
a $30 million a year payday, and I think it got cut in half.
I
It'll
agree.
be interesting
Yeah.
to definitely see where they go. And I know Randy, talk about your stuff
We
with
might
the
be able to
Cowboys
afford him now.
because
Yeah.
I want to bring it up. I need to know how you feel about this.
I
think
mean,
it's
Do you
just
want like the
absolutely-
optimist or the true
no. I want to
opinion?
know how you feel because
So-
I think it's a circus
Give us your
down there,
version
and-
and then the Chris version.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll give you
Yeah.
I'll give you the real version first, and I'll put a good spin on it. I mean, I think Mike McCarthy's a good coach. I think that, to be honest, the team situation was not
That's
good this
crazy.
year.
He is a
The
good
players,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
always been a
so.
good coach.
I
He's a
think
great
the
coach
team's-
of Packers, too.
I think
No.
so. I think the team
Trey would beg
situation.
different. I agree with him. I think he sucks.
Well, he can differ all he wants. He won the Green Bay a Super Bowl. So I
One.
mean,
with arguably one of the best quarterbacks
I think
ever played
anyone
the game.
out there would say that's a success. Anybody out there, any fan base would love a coach that
But
gives
you don't
them
want
one
Eli to
Super
go to the
Bowl.
Hall of Fame.
Time out. Did you really just say Aaron Rodgers was one of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game?
Yeah, look at his stats. He's killed it. He's had a hell of a career.
I mean,
Would you
Tom-
think Josh Allen? Would you if Josh Allen were never born?
He only won one Super Bowl.
Hold on. What would you rather have, Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones? That's the question.
I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers.
I'm kidding.
Body
It's not a
of
question.
work,
No one
his
even
career.
cares.
It's been
God,
great.
Aaron
he's
Rodgers
gonna get out
is
the
good.
whiteboard and show
He's
he
been a
should
top
have
10. He's been a top 10 every year. Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not even Brett Favre, but he's a good quarterback. But still, Mike McCarthy won a playoff game with that team, and they have not won since he's gone. Trey can talk all the crap he wants, but it's freaking bullcrap. They have not won.
What do you mean they haven't won? They beat you last year in the playoffs on the road.
The Super Bowl since then. He won one Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy, so you can talk all the crap you want. Facts are facts. Mike McCarthy did well with the Cowboys last year. This team, with what we would all say is not a great roster, has not done well, and I don't think it's a great idea that we cut him with this roster. But unfortunately, I don't know if next year is going to be any better. I don't know. We don't know what next year has in store, and I don't know if Mike McCarthy would last through another 6-11 year.
So let me ask you a quick question. His contract ran out on the 14th, which is today.
By the way, that was before any playoff run would have
now, what would have
ended.
Happened if you would have been? Now, what would have happened if you would have been in the playoffs? Would you?
I'm sure they would have kept him. If he would have made the playoffs and won a game or something, I'm sure they would have kept him.
No, I'm just asking. Would they have extended him while you were in the playoffs, or would that?
I'm sure.
Yes.
All right.
I'm sure. You're not going to cut a coach while you're in the playoffs. You're not going to do it. No one would even imagine to do that. Probably.
All right.
So
I think it's still funny that the contract did end on January 14th as opposed to like February 2nd, February 9th, maybe February 10th if you want to.
No. We want to make a decision quick. No, I mean, my good spin on it, there are some cool names I've been hearing, and again, we'll see.
You missed out on the best ones talking to them.
I don't know. I don't know. The one I heard, I really like.
Deion Sanders?
Nope. Don't like that one. Jason Garrett coming back. I actually love that idea.
I've seen that too, Randy.
I'm a big Garrett fan. I've always been one.
Why?
He just has a flair.
The clapper.
You know what? Honestly, he reminds me a little bit of the play style. The play style of maybe a Nick Sirianni, where he takes a little more of a gamble. He's a little more of a deep shot, a little more fling off his shoulders. Mike McCarthy just seemed a little conservative, a little reserved. He played just a little more conservatively than I liked for a coach, to be honest.
I was going to say, I heard a name today, and it made me laugh. And I'm curious to see what the Cowboys fans think about this. I heard the name Jason Witten, and I laughed because I didn't
hear that.
He's never coached before.
Yeah,
anything, right?
I love Jason Witten, but unfortunately, again, we still are under this one big thing, which is Jerry Jones runs everything, and you run what Jerry Jones built. And I don't know. That's going to be a struggle. Right now, Jerry Jones has built something that is a house of cards, and I'm not so sure. I don't know. I mean, the one good takeaway I have for the year is throughout this bad year, this terrible year we've had, the locker room never fell apart. We never had a Philadelphia incident. The locker room has stayed solid.
That's because they're all in the hospital. They're not even in the locker room.
Yeah, this isn't Green Bay, Paul. I mean, no, we weren't all in a hospital. Overshawn, a few other ones. No, it was a pretty...
Micah Parsons was in there. I mean, the best players were.
Yeah, you're right. CD. I guess, but again, like you see a lot of locker rooms, especially in Philadelphia, fall apart when your team starts to lose like that. And
he fell apart
Dallas
one year.
You fell apart this year.
When?
Dude, right before the break, you guys were like, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown was ready to kill you. That's my point. We were 6-11, and we didn't have that breakup like day after you break up with your girlfriend argument.
Are you congratulating yourselves for how you took going 6-11? I'm just trying.
Yes, I am.
Well, you can take that participation trophy all the way and put that right next to your championship from 30 years ago.
Right.
I hope
before you were even a
comes to
fan.
the Eagles game this weekend. Cheer on Barkley.
So, Chris, what about you?
Hold on, real quick before we move on from Mike McCarthy talk. And I never picked up on this until the impassioned backing of Mike McCarthy by Randy, but I need you guys to weigh in on this revelation I just had. Tell me Randy doesn't look like Mike McCarthy. He could win a Mike McCarthy lookalike contest.
Stop.
Yes or no?
I like it. He does.
No.
A lot.
I kind of see it.
Wouldn't that be great if I found out he was my long lost dad?
All
I
right,
guess
Chris,
he's probably my age.
You got points
I don't
for
really
us?
have anything. I don't really have much.
All right,
The one thing
halftime it is.
The one thing I wanted to say is I seen Barkley do that a million times as a Giant, like do the right thing, take the slide and everything. I kind of wish he would have took that one to the house, because wasn't it like a play or two before that when they got the penalty on him and
it was.
Look at you coming full circle from I hope he gets injured and doesn't make it to the end of the year. I wish he scored more touchdowns.
I know.
I think it's because he's a little inhibited, and I think that was clouding his judgment.
Who, me? Oh, stop. I thought you meant Barkley. But anyway, I think he should have scored there. And then as for the Eagles game, I kind of wanted to make a few points. I don't know if that's when the mic was messing up.
No, it's cutting out now.
Yeah, But when Randy was talking, was it?
Keep going.
When Randy was talking, I was thinking, like, first play of the game. I don't know how you guys feel. I think that should have been.
It was a fumble. Clear as day.
Dude, they landed right on it then, and then they fell on top of him. They took it away from him after the fact, but when you're down by contact, you're down by contact.
Even from the view from the top, nobody was on him yet, and he was laying on his back, and he had it. And then he lost it because he was just like, wasn't really protecting it. But he was laying on his back, and he had the ball right there. And then he just let it go.
And then, like, at the end of the game, like, they could have scored. I mean, I thought there was a pass interference call on that last drive. I mean, that game was a lot. I mean, it could have went either way. You could have blown them out. You probably should have blown them out. But then again, they missed a field goal.
Unreal.
Looked like him.
Unreal.
But they missed a field goal, and they had some other opportunities, and they had a lot of guys out. I felt like I do believe, when you'll find this out in the second half, I think if the Rams play the way they played last week and you play the way you play, you're going to lose this week.
How's the Giants do this weekend?
Well,
they're not playing. It's over.
Just
it's been over. It's been over for a long time. I'm carefree and relaxed, and I'm waiting for next year. I'm good.
Maybe you and neighbors can come to Washington at Detroit. That way you guys can cheer on your new favorite teams.
That's not Paul. You nailed it right on the head. It had nothing to do with that. He was supporting his buddy. I thought it was cool. Plus, it was the fact it was his first ever game, and he had a good year as a rookie.
And he's not going to get to the playoffs otherwise. So I mean, might as well get a field ticket.
He might get there a lot sooner than you think. And kudos to Neighbors being one of the top quarterbacks in the league with that mess this year.
Maybe if he's a Cowboy.
Receiver. Well, I did see this one thing. If we better get him a quarterback, or he might end up in Washington.
He might.
Oh,
yeah, there's definitely going to be some collusion.
That's enough dumb shit from Chris there in the first half. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get our predictions for the confidence pool, and we'll start looking forward to the divisional rounds. Hey, the producer told me to land a plane. I got to do what I got to do.
Gave him the cut sign.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of Clashing Conferences podcast. Real quick, I'm going to give our normal plug, the clashingconferences.com. Jump on there, join Patreon. I'm looking for somebody to come take my spot on the college podcast right now. So it's that easy. You can get on there. You can join tonight. You can be part of the network, and you'll be on a show in a week or two. We'll get you my spot on the college show. So in the internal competition, I went through the scores real quick. We had Paul at 36, Randy and Greg at 35, Chris at 27. We're going to pick here again in just a second. I'll give you a quick rundown of the games. We got Houston at Kansas City. We got Washington at Detroit. That's a division game for us. Washington's a 9.5-point underdog, but they've been shocking the world all year. So see if they can do it one more time. You got the Rams going to Philadelphia. The Rams are getting 6.5 points. Philly's a good size favorite there. And the last game of the week, we got Baltimore favored by 1.5 going to Buffalo. So, Chris, you are, as we talked about in the last, but still looking pretty good, in my opinion, with what you got left. What do you got for your picks this week?
This week I'm gonna start with the Kansas City game. I'm gonna use my last high pick. I'm very confident in them. Houston did play well last week, but Mahomes is ready. It's Mahomes time, like Randy would say. I'm gonna take KC with 12. I'm gonna slide over to Detroit and Washington. I do like Washington, man. I like Daniels, and I like this. It was a fun year watching them. I don't think they're going to shock the world and beat Detroit. That's where my 11 is going to go. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions in 11.
Yikes.
I'm going to slide over to Baltimore and Buffalo. What's the yikes for?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, what are they, 9.5-point favorites, you just said?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big spread, man.
That's a very big spread for a playoff game.
You go from loving them to hating them.
I never hated them. Even last week, I gave them a 1. I mean, at least I wasn't
Last year,
Paul.
you hated them pretty bad.
I didn't hate them. I just didn't.
You did.
You did. Last year, you hated them.
Well, I didn't think they were that good, and you were loving them. You acted like they were like up and coming, and they weren't, and that's why they got a quarterback. And that's why
they are up and coming.
They up and came.
Because they sucked last year, like I said they were going to do, and they drafted a quarterback, and it changed them, and they're doing good. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the Rams. I'm gonna go to Baltimore. I'm gonna go to the Baltimore and Buffalo game. It's a good game, man, but I'm gonna ride with Buffalo. Of course, I'm gonna ride with Buffalo. Why wouldn't I? I picked them to win the Super Bowl. But it's going to be a good game, and I think it's going to determine who wins the MVP. I mean, whoever wins this game, that's who they pretty much give the MVP to, right?
I have one thing to say about that, because I think the stats say Lamar Jackson, but you know what? There's 9 Pro Bowlers on the Ravens. There are 2 on the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills without Josh Allen don't win a game. The
100%.
Ravens without Lamar Jackson can still compete a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. But
Lamar is playing great. He had a fantastic year.
So, I mean, but that's the thing. It's an MVP. It's not most outstanding player like it is in like college basketball. It's MVP. Who's the most valuable player to a team? That is Josh Allen. It's not
absolutely.
Who's often. I mean, I think it's already leaning towards Lamjack, because they already gave him whatever the award is for the offensive player of the year. So they're already kind of setting the stage for it that he's going to win that. But he's not technically the MVP. I'd say he's the most outstanding and best offensive player, but I don't think that he's the most valuable player to his specific team. And that is actually something, that's a hill I'd be willing to die on between those two this year.
I mean, it's a great take. I didn't even think of it that way, and I do agree with you. But I think it's going to come down to the game anyway. I mean, if Baltimore beats him with all the accolades and as good as he played this year, you almost have to give it to him, right?
Well, I think
and if Josh Allen does beat him, they are. I mean, and aren't they the only ones
they're sick of giving it to Lamar and him not winning the Super Bowl?
Could be wrong, but I thought that the votes were already.
I thought it's already over. It should have already been over.
I think those votes are submitted before the playoffs start, so that people are not influenced by the playoff games when they're choosing their regular season MVP. Yes. I could be wrong, but that's the way I've always understood it to be.
Gotcha.
I mean, it makes sense that way.
Yeah, let Chris keep going so we don't run out of time here. What's your number on Buffalo?
I'm going to take Buffalo, and it ain't because it's going to be a good game. I'd be stupid to put a huge number on it. I'm going to give them a 5. I'm going to give them a 5 on there. And I'm rolling with the Rams. That's why I got my NY yellow. I got my yellow and blue. Rams looked good last week. I said it in the first.
No yellow.
It's faint. It
looks like lime green.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a little off. It don't matter.
Burn the
Seattle colors.
It's not eagle green, so that's all that matters. So I'm gonna go with the Rams, man. Rams were hot last night.
Put it on 9.
And I'm gonna put it on 2. I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not dumb. I have a little bit of a strategy here. So there you go. Those are my picks.
All right, Greg, you get to refute right away on this. You're up next.
Okay.
Went 3-3 last week, buddy. Remember that?
So did I.
No, I said you did.
Yeah, Chris went 4-2.
Sorry.
I went 4-2, buddy.
4-2.
The only game that you actually have to, have some skill, as Randy would say.
No, I disagree.
All right. We disagree a lot. Buddy.
Randy also went 4-2, so his skill level was up there as well. Apparently,
solid. Yeah, no,
and Mike still likes my chances, so I did something right.
Listen, yeah.
All right, Lewis, come on.
All right, I'm gonna go with Kansas City with an 11. That's going to be my first pick of the week. I am going to take the Ravens with an 8.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm trying to jump out. I think it's the Ravens' year.
Greg's like, I'm gonna catch up this week.
I am going to catch up this week. I'm also going to take Detroit with a 5. And then that leaves me with the Eagles and the Rams. So I look at it this way. We beat them by double digits in the beginning of the year, and we've only gotten better, and they've gotten better as well. They're on a short week. They are flew from LA to Phoenix. From Phoenix, they don't know what they're doing yet. They may fly back to LA. They may stay in Phoenix, but they're going to travel across country to Philly on a short week and play a 3:00 game filled with 70-some thousand drunk people in 32-degree
that are
weather.
really
Calling
mean.
each other the C word.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Birds at a 9. Eagles are with a 9.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, LA's playing with a heavy heart, man.
They are. And obviously my heart, and I think
I'm ride that wave.
I can
they're on
speak for
fire.
all of us out here. You know,
I knew that was coming.
do feel horrible for everything that's going out there. And if you have the ability to donate, do what you can to help everyone out there. It's horrible. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're out of gas. They haven't been on the East Coast in over a month. They're traveling a lot. They got a lot of heavy heart. They got a lot going on in their lives. But when our O-line outweighs their D-line by 75 to 100 plus pounds per person, and we are beating on you by the fourth quarter when it's 32 degrees and it starts raining or snowing, whatever it's going to do, it's a wrap.
It's actually the Philly fans spitting on them, actually.
Must be that too.
Who's falling asleep?
I hope you're not going this week, Greg, in those conditions.
I am going.
Oh,
it's going to be cold. I got sick last weekend, and I had to sell my ticket, and I was heartbroken.
You didn't go to the game?
You didn't go to the game?
No, I had no lines and sat in my chair and watched
He
it.
says he was actually up at a stadium calling a girl a C word.
No, it was not me. We found that guy, kicked him out. Oh, by the way, you know what the coolest thing about all that was?
I thought you said you were there. I thought you said you were trying to get the...
No, we were sending pictures through through the group messages trying to find out who it was. Dom actually found them. So not only did they kick the suspend the guy, he's never allowed back in the stadium again, but they're also sending that girl. They're sending her a whole bunch of signed Packer stuff.
Yeah,
her and the guy she was with, both of them. They're sending to both her and the guy.
Listen, enough with the whole scumbag talk. You know, we're actually really nice people. Most of us. There are
just that one guy
out there. No, there's a bunch of a-holes out there that
there's a couple in every stadium every week, though.
Yeah, exactly. So they're my picks. That's what I'm going with.
All right, Randy, you're up next. You got the same score as Greg, but you also went 4-2 last week. You're up there with Chris on the skill level.
So, yeah, I'm going to pick the two NFC East games first. Greg, you said your players outweigh them 75 pounds each.
About that.
On the offensive line.
It's Randy Chen each.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of speed for the Rams coming off of that. I hear you. Dallas always, for years, Dallas had a big line, and they got beat a lot in speed. That also means your guys get tired quicker.
Talk about their quarterback.
I'm going to pick one of these NFC East teams to win.
Good. Pick Washington.
And it's not going to be Washington. I'm taking the Eagles at 4, and I'm taking Detroit at 10. You are not that good. You will not beat Detroit. There's no way. I think Detroit owns you. The Chiefs, I'm taking at 12, and the Ravens, I'm taking at 1.
I'm disappointed you didn't call the Chiefs Kansas.
Yes, I'm upset by that too.
I can switch it back. Just blot that out.
Kansas, just make a note for next week. You have to always refer to the Chiefs as
move the stadium
Kansas.
to Kansas.
And you took the Ravens with 1? Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right, let me write this down. So Randy took Ravens at 1.
Took Kansas City at 12, Detroit
Kansas
at 10,
City.
and Philly at
Eagles at
4.
Yeah, I kind of went a little bit against the grain with my Eagles pick. I'd love to pick against them, but I just don't think the Rams have a lot of, like you said, gas. And we've seen that the Eagles are willing to destroy the entire offense of the other team to win a games.
Well, I guess that leaves us with the man with the strategy that he wanted nobody to steal, and he got to choose as the leader to go last this week. So he once again can make sure that nobody is stealing his strategy. What do you got for us, Paul?
3-3 last week, right, Paul?
Strategy.
Somehow
Pretty piss poor.
Randy still stole my strategy because my picks are almost the exact same as his.
Okay.
So I got the Chiefs at 10. I got the Lions at 9. The heart is at a 0. I want the Redskins to win, but heads at a 9 for the Lions. Ravens at a 3, which I gladly would lose that one because I do not want to see the Ravens win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the Eagles are going to win, but I'm going to only put it at a 4.
That's where I got it. That's very close.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got good news for you, Randy. If the all those picks go your way this week, you will be no longer behind
the lead
Paul.
Dog. Nope.
So
I don't like
I think it's actually 1 point you'd be ahead of him by. But that is it for our competition. Anybody got any closing thoughts or arguments before we get out of here that you need to get out of you? Chris, you got all your points out?
I'm good, buddy. Go Rams.
I want to say one thing real quick, and this is kind of like a congratulations to a fellow podcaster, our family member, and someone who's been on the show a lot.
Oh, yeah, Jimbo.
I want to, give out, shout out to Jimbo. Jim at Jimbo_Mont won KYW Eagles Fan of the Year.
That was really cool.
I read that article. That was great.
Yeah,
Cameo with the family and all that.
Yeah, he started going to season tickets when we were younger. He was at Temple, and him and a lot of his fraternity brothers. I'm now part of the group. All have season tickets. 12 of us, so it's a good time down there. So just want to congratulate him for making that, getting that award. I know he's got a Philadelphia Hall of Fame coming up soon, so I think he's actually going to be there and writing about it. So we'll have to look for that online as well. So
that's awesome.
Congrats, Jimbo.
Just supports Roach's count too. I mean, Jim is easily the number one. And I think there's not even a 1B at this point.
Come on.
He's definitely one. You're a far 2, and trust me. Wait, I mean, at least you're beating the third by a mile.
Oh, you guys are too much.
I don't think I could have come up with any. That might be the best dumb shit to end on all year, man. It's an inside joke that most people weren't going to get, but that's hilarious. Let's get out of here, and we'll be back next week to start looking forward to the AFC and NFC Conference Championships. We're almost there, guys. Like 2 more episodes, we'll be at the Super Bowl. Year's just spelled over.
Yes.
Can't believe it, but it's been a great run. We'll be back soon.
Go Birds.
Y'all.
See you next week.
Okay, Chris.